This tank now has the highest DPM of all British Tier 10 heavy tank. With this season, multiple British tanks received alpha buff from 400 to 440, and of course that resulted in a reload time change. And this tank now, having the same alpha as Chieftain or Super Kong, has 8.8 seconds of base reload, which is 0.2 better than the Chieftain and 0.4 better than the Super Conqueror. But that's not all. It got a chassis rotation speed and turret rotation speed buff from 38 to 40 degrees each. Ammo capacity buff from 35 to 40 shells. Not only now we have 40 shells, we also have higher alpha of 440. That means huge damage potential. But the main is the fire, internal fire improvement. Now the chance of fire is 10% instead of 20%, and that was one of the issues with this tank, that it gets set on fire a lot, but that's not the case anymore. This tank was also buffed in the past, where they buffed its side armor. It already has the greatest view range, and it has the best gun handling for the longest time, and still do. And it also has a better DPM than the other British tanks. And the one weakness it had, of course, it's a rear mounted, so that's still there, right? But it has enough attributes where you can compensate for that one weakness that happens with the rear mounted tanks. But like the other weakness that it had was the fire. You get set on fire every third or fourth shot. That is no longer the case, because fire chance reduction by 50%. That is huge, and this tank is one of the strongest tank in the game. Of course, as I said, right, it's still rear mounted, so it's not broken. Ridges is not your friend, but you can still hold. You can out DPM. Your mobility is decent. Not crazy, right? It's not slow, so you won't feel frustrated that you're never in the battle. And once you do get to the battle, you just pump out damage, because premium is the APCR, and a solid DPM of 3000 plus base. And this is also one of those tanks which will not be impacted that much with the accuracy changes, because this tank has the best accuracy out of all the heavy tanks. And I'm not talking about the base accuracy, I'm talking about accuracy during turret rotation, as well as accuracy during movement. So this tank will become even more strong once the rapid loading and steady aim gets removed, along with other changes that comes. So this is one of the tanks that you should definitely grind if you haven't already. And as I was saying, if you're young a little bit, you can definitely bounce some shots. As I'm at 5000 damage, 3300 blocked, finally get penned for the first time. And in a town map, this tank dominates. This tank absolutely dominates, because there are no ridges, you're on a flat ground, you can side scrape very effectively. And of course, rear mounted tank or center mounted tank, they're better at side scraping than the front mounted. Of course, its shoulder get exposed, but as I said, right, you don't have to expose it all the time. You just side scrape when the opponent has fired and get lucky. Again, I think I bounced a shot from the Jag Panther, and every shell I fire, or most of them, they do get penned. I am finally getting penned from E5. So the hull armor, if they're shooting premium PCR, you do get penned, by the way. So it's like not invincible. You do have super heavy hit points, and you do have enough armor that you would expect from a heavy tank or a support heavy or a sniper heavy that this tank also excels at. But don't expect to bounce your shots from the upper hull if they're fighting or shooting premium. Even like a E5, as you can see, he'll pen you. He'll pen you. So if you're fighting on ridges, or if you're fighting in a front mounted tank, and even the small ridges, he'll have an advantage in terms of exposure, but then you have all the other positive points. So just pushing forward, and absolute domination here. 7200 damage, 3 kills, 3700 damage block, 1650 assist, another block, or maybe shot from Grill, bringing my total to 82, 88. One tank remaining, won't get any more damage. So do let me know in the comments what you think about this tank. If you have this tank, do you like the buff it received? Do you enjoy that finally you will not get set on fire every other shot? And if you haven't checked out already, make sure to check out our community, Regiment, and Discord, because you earn points just by playing if you're in Regiment, and you might miss out if you're not. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.